Hi, this is Kevin Enos with Enos Family Financial Services here in Orlando. I'd like to thank you for deciding to spend a few minutes with me here today because I think we're going to talk about something you'll find real interesting. And that is a solution to a problem that's real prevalent out here right now, especially in Florida. And that's for homeowners who need or would like to sell their homes but are having some trouble because of an equity problem, meaning they don't have any. So if you're a homeowner, which I'm quite sure you are, and you need or would like to sell your home but are having some trouble because you have either very little or no equity or actually owe more on your mortgage than what your home is worth right now, then you're in the right place because I have a solution. And we're going to talk about that solution quite a bit here, but let me preface everything by saying I don't want the video to be too long because it's hard for most people to watch videos more than a few minutes. So I'm going to give you a brief overview of what I do, how this works, how the solution works, enough so that hopefully you can make a decision as to whether you'd like to learn more and take the next step and dig a little bit deeper to see if it's something you'd like to pursue or not. So it's going to be a fairly brief overview of what this is all about. And so let's jump in by starting to talk about who this solution applies to best. And that is a homeowner who needs or wants to sell their home but can't sell it the traditional way because of the equity problem. And ideally, and it's best for homeowners who are actually current on their payments and making their payments, have good credit, just need to move on in life for whatever reason, but are trapped by this home. The program that I'm going to show you here works perfect for that type of a homeowner. Now, if you happen to be a few payments behind, it could still work for you, but we need to hustle and get started pretty quick. And if you're way behind on payments or even in foreclosure already, this probably won't work very well for you, but there's other things we can do. So I'd encourage you to give me a call anyway and see what we can, what else we can try to do for you. So let's dive in here and let me first clarify and make sure we're on the same page here as far as what problem we're actually talking about. So let's start here. Let's pretend that this is you and your house right here, okay? And what we have here is right now your house is worth about $200,000, but you've got a mortgage with a balance of $230,000. Now what probably happened is 4, 5, 6 years ago your house was worth closer to $300,000, but of course the values have dropped all over Florida, as we all know. And so now this is the situation. You're actually what we call underwater by $30,000. Again, meaning that the mortgage is $30,000 bigger than what the house is worth right now. So you've got a negative equity situation. And of course the reason you can't sell is even if you had a buyer that's willing to pay what the house is worth today, they can't because they're only going to get a new mortgage based on today's value. And this negative equity part, there's no way to deal with it unless you have $30,000 and want to bring it to closing and cover that gap yourself, which of course I don't think anybody wants to do that. So that's our problem. Now the solution is what we really need for this to fix itself is time, for time to pass. And why is that? Well, as we all know, as time goes on and payments are being made, a little bit of every payment every month is going towards principal reduction. So every month this loan balance is going to go down a little bit, okay? And over time, as the economy gets better and the housing market improves, we're going to start getting some appreciation again here in Florida, which we actually are a little bit now, but it's going to take a while to get enough to fix all this. So what has to happen is some number of years have to pass. It's not going to happen overnight. So that as your mortgage balance is getting paid down and appreciation is happening again and raising the value of the house, at some point these two are going to cross so that now the loan balance is less than the value of the house. Now we've got some equity in the house, okay? And now a buyer can get a loan and pay off the loan that's there, and everything works out like normal, like we're all used to, except it's not going to happen for some time down the road, okay? So we need that time to pass for the house to fix itself, or the economy to fix itself, or the lending industry to fix itself. and so we can do this. Now, this is where I come in. I'm the one that provides that time for us. And how do we do that? How do I do that? Well, what we're going to do is you will, and what I'm going to say now, I'm quite sure you're not going to understand hardly any of it. It's kind of technical and it deserves a lot of explanation that I can't do here, but if you're interested, we'll get together and go into as much detail as you can stand to hear so that you're comfortable with it. But anyway, this is generally how it's going to work, what we can do. You will deed your house to one of my land trusts. So now the land trust is the owner of the house. And there's a lot of reasons we do that, a little of which we'll talk about here. Again, a lot of it takes more explanation than we have time for. And then, so I'm going to be in control of the house for a long period of time, for some number of years, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a family, and by the way, don't know if you've seen or heard, but it's estimated now that somewhere between 80 and 100 million people across the country 5 and 6 years ago could qualify for a home loan, and now they can't. So there's a huge pool of people out there that would love to have your house, would love to have your loan, but they can't get either, okay? So here's what we're going to do. We put the house in the land trust, then I have control of it. You don't have to worry about it anymore. You're out of the picture. And then I'm going to find a family that wants the house, can afford the payments that are on the house, and I will put them in the house under a long-term lease option arrangement, or rent-to-own, whatever you want to call it, so that we can let this time pass and let this fix itself. Okay, so I'm going to be in control of the people in the house. You don't have to worry about what's going on with them, and I'll work with them over time to make sure their credit's in good shape and that they're saving any money for to buy the house later if they need to do that. So I'm handling all of this as the years march on, okay? And at some point, when again the house fixes itself, then these folks are going to be able to get a loan, go in and buy the house and pay off the loan that's there. They'll be able to get a new loan big enough, bigger than the one that's already here, just like we're all used to doing, and we'll all be done. So that's kind of how that's going to work. And in the meantime, you're not going to see the house, hear about the house, you're not going to pay for anything. It's all on autopilot, and I will be overseeing all of this and in control of all of that. That's my piece of it. So that's kind of it. It doesn't cost you anything. It's not going to hurt your credit. As a matter of fact, it'll probably help credit. It's free, it's good for you, it's good for these folks that can't get a house otherwise, it's good for the lender that has the mortgage, kind of good for everybody. So that's kind of it. If it sounds like something that you'd like to dig into a little bit deeper, there's my phone number. It's my personal cell phone, and I answer my own phone, so I encourage you to give me a call. We'll talk a little bit. I'll answer whatever questions you have. Ideally, it's best probably to get together one-on-one and apply this idea to your particular situation and wring it all out so you can see exactly how it's going to work for your particular situation. Because if we do anything, I want you to understand this and be comfortable with it, so of course we'll have to spend some time later. But anyway, that's the general idea. If it looks like something you'd like to learn more about, give me a call and we'll see what we can do. I'm Kevin Enos with Enos Family Financial Services. Thanks.